I found out my boyfriend was testifying against me in court because a TikTok comment told me to check his tagged videos. The comment said, "Isn't that your man behind the prosecutor?" I laughed. Then I watched the clip. There he was. In a suit I bought him, nodding along as a woman described how I ruined her life. My name came out of her mouth like a slur. The caption read, "When your abuser finally gets exposed." I dropped my phone. 10 minutes later, my boss called. "We're placing you on leave," she said. "HR has concerns." I asked what concerns. She emailed me screenshots. Messages I never sent, threats, manipulative voice notes. A fake pregnancy claim. Screenshots showing my number. They looked real. Too real. I called my boyfriend. He didn't answer. I texted him. "Why is your face in a court video about me?" 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Instead, I got a notification. "You have been blocked." My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. "Stop asking questions if you don't want this to get worse." I drove home shaking. My apartment door was unlocked. My stuff was still there, but something was off. The photos on the wall were rearranged. In every one of them, I looked angry. My smile cropped out. I checked my laptop. Logged in. My email inbox was clean. Too clean. The sent folder made me sick. Dozens of emails, confessions, apologies, threats. All sent from me. All time-stamped over the last 6 months. Including one sent to the police. Subject, "I'm scared of what I might do." I slammed the laptop shut. My phone rang. "Mom, why didn't you tell me you were hurting people?" she asked. I couldn't speak. "You need help," she continued. "Your boyfriend said he tried to save you." I whispered, "Save me from what?" She paused, then said, "From yourself." The doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. 2 police officers. Behind them, my boyfriend, holding a folder, not looking at me. I opened the door. "Ma'am," one officer said, "we need to ask you a few questions." My boyfriend finally looked up and smiled. They made me sit in the kitchen. My apartment, my life, suddenly a crime scene. My boyfriend leaned against the counter, arms crossed, calm. Too calm. "I didn't want it to get this far," he said. I wanted to scream. "Get what far?" The officer slid the folder across the table. Inside, screenshots, texts, screenshots of texts, recordings of my own voice saying things I never said. "All of this was sent from your number," the officer said. "Somebody has been impersonating you, but legally it looks like it came from you." I stared at my boyfriend. He smirked. "I told you I had to protect myself." I blinked. "You're lying." He shrugged. "Everyone else believes it. You're collateral." I grabbed my phone. Tried to call someone, anyone. It rang, then a recording played. "We're watching you. Stop digging." Then the video started. It was live. My apartment. Me sitting in the kitchen. But I wasn't alone. Someone else was there, another woman. Her face, identical to mine. The officer froze. My boyfriend laughed. "Meet her." "Version 2, he said. I bolted for the door. My sister stepped in front. "Going anywhere?" she asked. I froze. Her smile wasn't real. My sister had never smiled like that. A message popped up on my burner phone. "Unknown number. Trust no one. They're all pretending to help." I spun around. My mom was standing behind the counter. She shook her head. "I'm sorry, honey." I tried. "Tried what?" I shouted. She didn't answer. She just handed me an envelope. Inside photos, me everywhere, doing things I never did. But the faces of the people around me were all looking terrified. The last photo? My boyfriend holding a gun, pointed at me. I ran, down the hallway, through the lobby, my heart pounding so hard I thought it would explode. The security cameras caught everything. My phone buzzed. Another unknown number. "They can see you." "Stop running." I ducked into the stairwell. My legs shaking, I pulled out the envelope my mom had given me. Inside was a key and a note. "Safe, only way out. Don't trust him." "Safe from who?" I whispered. Before I could answer, my phone rang. "Unknown number. Same caller ID as before. You think you can escape?" My boyfriend's voice. Calm. Smug. "I know everything you do. I've always known." I slammed the phone shut. The key fit a storage locker nearby. Inside, bags of my things, luggage I didn't recognize, ID cards with my name, but faces I didn't recognize in the photos. I checked my bank app. Frozen. Social media? Deleted, every account gone. And then I saw the last bag. Inside, a laptop. Powered on. Live feed. I pressed play. It was my apartment. Me and asleep. But not really me. Someone else wearing my face, my clothes, my hair. The screen flickered. Text overlay. Phase 2. Replacement complete. I gagged. A noise behind me made me spin. It was Elise. A woman I didn't know but who said she was helping me. "Who are you?" I demanded. "I used to be you," she said flatly. I woke up too late. "They erased me." I stared at her. "They erased you?" She nodded. "Everything. Memories, friends, family, life, gone, and now they're coming for you." My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Another message? "He told us you might escape. Now we need you alive or it doesn't matter." Suddenly I heard sirens. Police, not here to help. They were coming to arrest me. Elise grabbed my hand. "Move, now." We ran out of the storage unit. My sister was waiting outside, gun drawn. Stop, she shouted. Mom says come home. I froze. My mom? My sister? All part of this nightmare? Elise shoved me to the side as the first shot rang out. I hit the ground. Gunfire echoed. Elise grabbed my arm. Run! We bolted into an alley. My sister's screams behind us. My mom's voice breaking. I couldn't even process it. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. A live video link. I clicked. It was me, on my apartment couch, crying, talking to my boyfriend. But my lips weren't moving, they were hers. The double. Comments scrolled fast. Thousands. Friends, family, strangers. Everyone calling me crazy. She needs help. She's dangerous. Call the police. I gagged. My identity, my life shredded in real time. Elise, what do we do? I whispered. She didn't answer. She pointed to a car across the street. Keys in the ignition. As we ran, another buzz. Text unknown. You can't run. They own everything. Even the law. We reached the car. Elise started it. My phone rang. Display said Mom. I answered. Why are you hiding from me? She said calm, too calm. I froze. Mom, everything. She laughed softly. They aren't going to hurt you. We're keeping you safe. I felt my stomach drop. Safe? The car stopped at a courthouse. My heart raced. Elise, why are we here? She sighed. You've already been served. They're charging you. I walked in. My name on a case number, a room full of strangers, cameras everywhere. And there he was. My boyfriend, smiling, handing a file to the prosecutor. I realized too late, he'd manipulated everyone. My family, my friends, the law, even Elise. The first witness? My own sister. She took the stand. I tried to warn her, she said. She didn't listen. Screenshots appeared on the projector. Texts from me threatening my boyfriend. Sending him pictures of stolen money. Claiming assaults I never committed. I tried to speak. The judge banged the gavel. Next witness, my mother. She's unstable, Mom said. We had to step in before it went too far. I looked at Elise, her eyes widened. She hadn't expected this. Then the prosecutor held up a phone. A live feed. My apartment, my face. My double pretending to be me. I realized the whole courtroom was watching me disappear in real time. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. You should have stayed gone. Now you'll never be believed. I barely slept that night. The courtroom images haunted me. My double smiling, my family testifying, the law against me, it was unreal. Elise whispered. There's a way to fight back. I stared. You lied to me too? No, but you have to see who's really pulling the strings. She handed me a folder. Inside, recordings, documents, photos. Proof that everything, my boyfriend, my sister, my mom, was being manipulated by someone else. Someone higher. Someone I trusted. It was my therapist. All the notes about me being unstable, all the warnings my mom repeated. The court filings, they all trace back to him. I froze. Why? Elise shook her head. He doesn't want you gone. Just erased, replaced, controlled. He's building a new life in your name. My stomach dropped. He's orchestrating the double? Yes, he's the one who trained her. Taught her your gestures, your voice, your habits. He used your boyfriend, your family, everyone to make sure you'd be powerless. I felt sick. How do we stop him? Elise hesitated. You can't, not yet. You're exposed, legally dead in their eyes. But you can survive long enough to catch him. Suddenly my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello, he said. Calm, smooth, familiar, my therapist's voice. I see you found my little plan. Impressive. I screamed. You've ruined everything. He laughed. No, my dear. I've perfected it. You were never supposed to know. But now that you do, it's time to choose. Either you disappear, or I make sure everyone knows what you've been doing. The line went dead. I turned to Elise. We need a plan. Before she could answer, my sister appeared at the door. Gun in hand. She's destabilizing everything, she said. He promised I'd be protected if I stopped her. I froze, my own sister, working for him. Elise shoved me into a car. We run now, he's already watching. As we drove, I realized something horrifying. Even if I survive, my life is gone. My name is gone. My face belongs to someone else. And the person who started it all is still free. We didn't make it 3 blocks before the police lights hit us. Elise swore. He tipped them. My phone buzzed again. A notification from the court system. Warrant issued for your arrest. Charge updated, attempted murder. Victim name added. Elise Carter. I stared at the screen. He's killing you before they even touch you. Elise laughed once, sharp. He already did. She pulled into a parking garage and killed the engine. You need to listen to me carefully. She handed me her phone. A video played. Elise in a hospital bed. Timestamp 2 years ago. My name is Elise Carter, she said on the screen. If you're watching this, I've been replaced. I felt dizzy. He cycles us, Elise said. One every few years, therapist, savior, mastermind. Sirens echoed closer. Elise, I whispered. You said you escaped. She shook her head. No, I stalled. She grabbed my face. You're stronger than me. That's why he rushed you. Her phone buzzed. A text from him. She served her purpose. Elise smiled sadly. That's my cue. She shoved me out of the car and slammed the door, locking it from the inside. Elise, no! She drove straight into traffic. The explosion shook the garage. By the time I ran back, police were everywhere. They dragged me away screaming while smoke filled the air. Later that night, the news broke. Woman with history of delusions kills accomplice in fiery crash. My face, my name. I stopped being a victim. I became the villain. And then something worse happened. My phone buzzed. A video message. My therapist. I told you there would be consequences, he said calmly. You see how quickly the story adjusts? He leaned closer to the camera. Tomorrow, your double will testify against you. And this time, she'll be convincing. The video cut. A second file autoplayed. It was my double, sitting across from him, practicing my breakdown. Word for word. Emotion for emotion. Even the part where I begged to be believed. I collapsed. Because I recognized the script. I'd written it. In therapy, years ago, I watched the video again. Every word my double practiced was something I'd said in therapy. Every pause. Every sob. Every confession I thought was private. He hadn't just studied me. He'd built me. The next morning, I was dragged into court in handcuffs. No makeup, no lawyer I chose. Cameras everywhere. Across the room sat my double, wearing my favorite dress. She looked nervous in the exact way I do when I'm pretending to be fragile. She took the stand and told my life better than I ever could. She talked about my episodes, my violent thoughts, my confessions to our therapist. The prosecutor nodded along. The judge leaned forward. My family cried on cue. Then something snapped. Because when she described my worst moment, the thing, I'd never told anyone but him. She got one detail wrong, a tiny one. She said it happened on a Sunday. It happened on a Tuesday. Only 2 people knew that. Me. And him. I started laughing. They tried to silence me. I laughed harder. My public defender grabbed my arm and whispered, "Stop, you're helping them." That's when I realized it. He'd assigned my lawyer. The judge's clerk glanced at the therapist before ruling. The bailiff avoided my eyes. This wasn't a trial. It was a performance. And I was the only one not in the cast. They took me back to holding. That's when my phone buzzed. A message from an unsaved number. "You're doing great. Just like we practiced." My hands went cold. Another message followed. "You're almost ready to take her place." The door opened. My therapist stepped inside. No guards, no cuffs on him. He smiled like this was a session. "I need you to calm down," he said. "You're splitting." I whispered, "You taught me that word." He nodded. "And you learned it beautifully." He slid a file across the table. Inside were photos. Of me, as a child. In a room I didn't recognize. With him. Years earlier. Before I ever became his patient. Before I ever knew his name. "You weren't my first success," he said softly. "You were my best prototype." My head rang. He leaned closer. "And now," he continued, "we need to decide which version of you survives." The lights flickered. The door behind him opened. My double walked in. She looked at me and said my name the way my mother used to. That's when I noticed something I hadn't before. She was shaking. Not scared, confused. Like someone waking up, and I realized she didn't know she wasn't me. And neither of us remembered which one came first. They put us in the same room and called it an evaluation. White walls, 1 camera, 1 chair, 2 of me. The therapist sat between us like a referee. "Tell me who you are," he said, smiling. She spoke first. Said my full name, birth date, childhood address. Trauma in perfect order. My stomach sank. Then I spoke. And said the same things. Same pauses. Same phrasing. The therapist nodded like this was expected. "Good, very good." The double looked at me, eyes glossy. "Why are you copying me?" I laughed, loud, ugly. "You're copying me." She flinched. The therapist raised a hand. "See? This is the instability I mentioned." I lunged for him. Guards slammed me to the floor. As they dragged me out, I heard him whisper to her, "You did great today." They sedated me. When I woke up, I was alone. New room, new clothes. New name on the wristband. Not mine. I screamed until my throat burned. No one came. Days passed. Maybe weeks. A nurse finally spoke to me. "You're lucky," she said kindly. "Your family fought hard for you." "For who?" I asked. She smiled. "Your sister." My blood went cold. I demanded a mirror. When they brought it, I barely recognized the face staring back. Same features. Different expression. Quieter. Easier. A TV played in the corner. Morning news. There she was. Living my life. With my boyfriend? With my mom. Talking about mental health advocacy. Surviving her breakdown. The caption read, "Woman rebuilds life after tragic psychotic episode." I started laughing again. Because I finally understood. The therapist didn't replace people. He recycled them. And as the nurse adjusted my IV, she leaned down and whispered, "Don't worry. You'll get another chance to be you next time."